Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in. Arsenal versus Chelsea. In fact, I should really say Chelsea versus Arsenal because we're going to the Bridge, a place that hasn't filled us Arsenal fans with many joy over the years. So yeah, let's get into it. Arsenal versus Chelsea, I don't need to tell you. I mean, me and my friends are going at it, the ones that support Chelsea and things like that. It's a London derby. It's Chelsea versus Arsenal. Many years ago, it used to be a fixture. Well, I wouldn't say a fixture where we're definitely winning, but a fixture that gave us a lot of joy. Obviously, it got to the point where Chelsea just used to bully us. Hazard's made people get grass in their bums, from Mustafi to Coquelin. For me, the man I probably feared the most was Didier Drogba. You saw him score free kicks, headers, downright bully people. I know Vermaelen and Traore probably have nightmares about how what he physically did to them, barging them and them things there. So yeah, there's history. Yeah, they banter us about being a laughing stock. We banter them about the Russian money. Obviously, both teams, if it was up to the fans, they're not where they previously was or where they'd like to be. Both of us finished out of the Champions League spots. Chelsea 5th, us 6th. Both of us have new managers, and so there's a lot. I wouldn't say there's a lot riding on this game per se, but there's a lot of emphasis to want to win this. There's a lot of change at both clubs. So yeah. If we look at last week, obviously they beat Huddersfield around 3-0, I believe. We lost 2-0 against Manchester City. So there's a real prospect of us being in game week 2 come 8 p.m. or whenever the game will actually finish on Saturday with 1 point, no points, or hopefully 3 points. So yeah, hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Personally, I want to win. I want to have a go at Chelsea, to be fair. I'll allude to them things later. Because I think we're coming 6th this year, I don't want to sound negative and things like that. I do want us to go out there and have a go, but it wouldn't surprise me if we lost it, and I would love a draw because, I mean, again, like last time when we went there in January, we haven't been good at Stamford Bridge in many years, man. We need man like Kanu to come back. So I'll point at the Bridge in the grand scheme of things, considering that we lost last week, won't be on paper, won't be the best of results, but it won't be the worst by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, and even if I remember last year, I remember the likes of, I'm so sure Lacazette played well, Aaron Ramsey definitely played well if I remember correctly. Iwobi actually played well, and Ozil played well. So there are 4 players that just come to mind. So yeah, man. Obviously, it's 2 new managers. I wouldn't say similar styles. I mean, we know Sarri balls is similar to Wenger ball, free flowing. Unai Emery's played free flowing football, but I wouldn't say he's necessarily known for that. It's more the system sort of thing. So it definitely shaped. I hope it doesn't undersell. I mean, it oversells and underdelivers in terms of a game, but it could shape up to be a great spectacle for the neutrals because of the rivalry and the contrasting play style of play between the two sides that their new managers are trying to implement. So yeah, like I said, they dealt with Huddersfield. Credit to them, to be honest. But if I'm looking at places we can probably exploit, it would, first and foremost, I'd say the first area we have to kind of look to exploit from Chelsea would be, it's tough because there's a lot, but I'd probably say, what would I actually say? Because I've got a lot to, I've got them all written down. I've got a lot to say. Firstly, I believe Adrian Clark actually pointed out first and foremost that Chelsea, although they won 3-0 last week, out of all the teams that played in the game last week, Huddersfield won the ball back in the opposition's attacking third the most. So that could show you that Chelsea are still learning to play out the back in the way that Sarri might want them to play. And if we look at how we can exploit that, if their backline's being dispossessed like Huddersfield showed, and one positive from last week was how we pressed quite high and forced errors from Manchester City, do I really need to explain to you guys why we need to press them centre-halves very quickly? And even if I look at Alonso will trouble us going forward. Bellerin really needs to be aware of that because Alonso is very decent going forward in today's modern age of a fullback. Defensively is where he struggles. He does tend to ball watch. He does tend to go pretty narrow and over cover for his man. So that's a potential area we can look to exploit. Bellerin's going to have a tough game, and he's one I'm looking at to fix up in that game, to be fair with you. So yeah, Aubameyang said we lacked character for some stages against Manchester City and them sort of things. Then he said we'd have more of a idea of what this team's about after the game against Chelsea. So by that stretch of the imagination, I'm expecting a much better performance and things like that. I mean, Arsenal, we know we talk a good game and fail to deliver many a times. If we look back at the Huddersfield game as well, that midfield three of Jorginho, Kante, and I can't even, was it Barkley in that game? I'm not too sure. But it could be Cesc, it could even be Hazard if they play Hazard in the 10 role and Cesc and Jorginho, or Kante and Jorginho behind him, for example. There's some terrific options with Chelsea, to be fair. But That three in midfield is fantastic, man. Kante, I don't need to explain. Kante, Jorginho, for me, is one of the signings of the league. Could be the best outright signing. We'll give him time to develop and things like that. But you saw them. I mean, I can't imagine Jorginho misplaced too many passes, but you're looking at, that's probably one player you've got to press. You've probably got, if I'm in Emery, I'm probably looking to man mark him and take him out of the game, to be fair. Kante's positioning, I know it's only been one game under Sarri, but it looks like Kante's been given a new role of sorts. We know he was more or less a box-to-box defensive midfielder at Leicester. He went to Chelsea doing them same strengths that makes him a good player, but he has improved on the ball and passing and them things. Now you're seeing Sarri, it's like typically Kante wouldn't be the first to press. He's utilising Kante's interception strengths and letting him be the furthest man in midfield and letting Jorginho, and I believe it was Barkley, forgive me if I'm wrong, Chelsea fans, the deepest midfielders. That's an area we can exploit. Kante's got an engine like you see, and the man never stops running, but all it takes is one time. If he's gone up there to press and they're exploited with two midfielders, and Jorginho and Barkley or whatever, they're very good going forward and they're decent defensively, but they're not known for defensive stuff. So that's a gap. If there's a gap and Kante's here and them two midfielders are there, that's a gap we can exploit, in my opinion. We need to, they're lined up, they do play quite a high line as well. I mean, I don't need to spell it out for you. We know we don't play direct balls. We know we've got pace in Aubameyang. I'm not going to get into it, but it'd be nice to see our balls played over the top, to be honest. Like I said, if I'm Chelsea, I'm playing Eden Hazard in the 10 role, to be fair. But Hazard's the one that you're looking at. You do not want to be 1 versus 1 with him. We need to double up. It's important you don't dive in. We know he's a mercurial dribbler and all of these things, but one of his best attributes for me is his ability to draw fouls. I really don't want to see Hazard collecting fouls in silly areas, because Chelsea will trump us at set pieces. In fact, I also believe, from an Arsenal fan's perspective, if we are to have any joy in that game, how we defend from set pieces specifically will make all the joy, to be honest with you. They've got Morata, who we run joke about, but he's decent in the air. The one man I actually would like us to watch specifically at set pieces is actually Rudiger. If you remember, we played them in pre-season, and he does it quite a lot. He makes a great run where he runs basically behind everyone sort of thing, out to in, and he pulls people down to the floor and things like that. It's admirable. When he gets caught, he looks like an idiot, but these sort of things, these sort of street smartness is what could let us down to a degree. If I'm honest with you, we need to fix up set pieces as well. On top of that, the crosses, they're not going to be, if I'm Chelsea, I'm putting in crosses against Arsenal. Early crosses, delayed crosses, low crosses, whipped crosses. I'm putting all sorts of crosses in, purely because it's a new back four on paper with the signings. If Leno plays, make them nervous. Arsenal away from home, and we're going to try and play out from the back. So I'm looking to do that. On top of the point about Hazard in the 10, if I was them, I'd make sure Pedro's on, because he looks like he's typically someone who does something against us, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, you can see, for me, the defensive line of Chelsea is one that we have to get at. They play quite high. They still have teething problems, and they're somewhat easy to press. They're the only ways we're going to get joy from it. David Luiz, I think he gets a lot of stick, but he's good on the ball and stuff, but he is prone to lapses of concentration, like shown against Huddersfield. But one thing that we also need to watch out from is him, and specifically Dave, once in a while that clips ball over the top to Morata. We have a ridiculously high line, so you actually can see a lot of goals just on what I'm saying. Like, you can see a goals fest in this game. I don't think it will be that, but these are the sort of things that might let us down, to be honest with you. I want us to actually overcrowd their midfield, to be honest. And I'd be purely because I would like us to make sure Jorginho has a bad game. Like I said earlier, I can't imagine he misplaced too many passes against Huddersfield. He must have played 60 to 100 passes and hardly missed any. I don't have the stats to hand, but that's what I think. So he's clearly going to be central to them and how they like to play in an offensive sense and receiving the ball deep or centre halves. If we block him up together with pressing their line, if we press their back line very high and outnumber them and they have no outlets, and then they can only give it to Jorginho, who's outnumbered, they're not going to be able to get to Morata. They're going to have to force it long to Morata, to which you'd like to think he'd be outnumbered with Koscielny, Socrates, or whoever is in there, to be fair with you. That's honestly what you'd like to think, man. I also believe, I have to, off topic, to praise Chelsea, I believe if they can marry the principles that Conte installed defensively and working hard defensively with Sarri ball and all that excitement that comes with it, and enabling their attacking players to be the great attacking players they are, I believe they can do great things, man. Because yeah, you don't lose a lot of them defensive things that you don't lose a lot of them situations and them things you're taught overnight just because Conte is gone, and maybe because he's got Sarri's got Italian staff behind him. That's a route he could look at to implement as well. I believe if they marry the two together, their system could be very crazy, in my opinion. So for me and short people, we need to watch the runs, man. We need to watch the runs. We need to watch our line. We need to exploit their line. Midfield is going to be key, and set pieces concentration at set piece is vital. Specifically going back, we need 3 points. Like, the season hasn't started. I'm trying to start the season against Cardiff or West Ham. No disrespect to either side. We've been stitched up with these fixtures, but now is the time to show fight. In regards to the lineup, people, I'm not too sure, if I'm honest with you, because like I've got written here, as I was making my notes, I'm torn. The Jose Mourinho in me, the Jose that I look at as someone who wants to coach and them things, that is screaming to me, let's think about the opponents. That bias has come through in my preview, because I've been saying we need to watch this, we need to watch that, and this and that, and be cerebral. That is talking to me. The Wenger inside me is telling me to just focus on our strengths, focus on what we're good at and how we can hurt them with the players and what our players stand for. So I'm thinking that. Then I have Pep Guardiola's voice inside telling me to be bold and do something that might not get a lot of praise or might raise a few eyebrows. So let's talk about the lineup. So you guys know me anyway. You guys know me already. Like, what's that? Oh, that's some notes for some next thing. Apologies, people. You guys know me already. I like 4-3-3. We went there with a 4-3-3 in January, I believe. Forgive me if I'm wrong, and got a point. If it was a 4-3-3 thing, I'm going Leno in goal, but I don't think Czech should start, but I understand if Czech starts given the context. I'd actually go with Liechtenstein at right back. Bellerin was okay, but I'd go with Liechtenstein because I felt he looks like he could be a better signing than a lot of us thought. If Monreal's fit, then Monreal starts at left back for me. If not, Liechtenstein moves across and Bellerin comes in. Socrates and Mustafi, if I haven't said it already, in defence. Midfield, I'm actually going to go with Guedesi and Torreira, to be fair. In the 10 row, it's a toss-up between Aaron Ramsey and Ozil. If it's Ozil, I'd like it to be a 10 full stop. If it's Ramsey, I want him closer to the midfielders, to be honest, more box-to-box sort of thing. I want you to still time your runs and go forward and that like you've done before. But yeah, that's what I would like to see. Or if it's a 3-5-2, like I would actually like what my heart wants to go with. Leno in goal, Socrates, Mustafi. I'm actually going with Liechtenstein on the right centre-half role purely because Alonso, Hazard drifting out to that side. They both normally stress out Bellerin. Someone street smart behind Bellerin. They can double up. One can go short. One can engage. One can drop off. Help with the organisation and that. But a big telling will be if Monreal starts, because to which Liechtenstein will have to move to left wing back in this 3-5-2. But I'm going with, like I said, Leno, Socrates, Mustafi, Liechtenstein on the right hand side. Obviously Bellerin in the wing back role. In midfield, I'm going with Guedesi and Torreira. I do think Guedesi probably be on the bench for this game, but they'll be the two. Monreal will fit at left wing back. And again, a toss-up between Aaron Ramsey and Mesut Ozil, if I'm honest with you. In fact, it's a toss-up between them. I thought my maths was off there. No surprise, Lacazette and Aubameyang up front. I would like to beat Chelsea. I mean, it goes either way for me. In my head, my brain is telling me we've lost this. My heart wants me to fight and things like that for us. I mean, again, we can't read too much into past games, but we've done all right against Chelsea in recent fixtures. I mean, I can't remember when the last time we actually lost in the Premier League to them was. It probably 2017 when Hazard ripped people to shreds. But FA Cup final, Carling Cup, League Cup last year at Stamford Bridge, I believe, or it could have been at the Emirates. We did all right against them. We seem to have Chelsea's number to a degree, even the comeback in pre-season. But you can't read too much into them because it will be a big statement for both sides if both sides win this against their North London derbies. Their North London rivals, London rivals, better yet. If Arsenal win it, okay, we lost to City, but we can use this as motivation to go on a sequence. If Chelsea win it, no disrespect to Huddersfield, but Huddersfield is Huddersfield. You beat Arsenal. It seems to be working under Sarri. Let's kick on and things like that. It's a feel you can't underestimate how good it feels, how beating a rival can shape a season at this point in time. Again, I don't want to read too much into it, win, lose, draw or defeat. But yeah, my heart, I don't do predictions, but my heart says 2-1 Arsenal. My brain says we've lost and we've lost 2-1. My brain also says that we hope for a point. Hope for a point, DG. Hope for a point. A point is not the end of the world. Maybe it's because I have almost 0% expectations of this Arsenal side this season generally. I want to get them back to the top 4, but we're coming 6th in my opinion. So yeah, I don't think I need to say anything else in this preview, to be honest with you. But yeah, the preview's done. Guys, Deluded, thank you for staying with me. I know it's been a long one. I'm out. Arsenal versus Chelsea, Chelsea versus Arsenal, the preview, regardless of however you want to say it. But we'll see what it's saying at 5:30. Mustafi and Socrates, based on last game, I saw a convincing performance. I'd like to see it again. Like Mustafi, I want to see you leave that Stamford Bridge pitch with no grass stains on your shorts, because Hazard always dirties up them red shorts. Them white shorts of yours. So yeah, man, Guys, Deluded, I'm done. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. All my socials are in the description. Deluded Guna04, DGuna04 on Snap. Thank you for watching. I'm out.